Claude and it was taking
This
10
meeting is
years.
being recorded.
So it was like, I'm so sorry. I was taking forever to finish that with the Claude. Joy, great to see you. Shelly, Jamae, so great to see you guys. Apologize, I had to end the meeting because with the loveliness of the Facebook group, it doesn't let me stop my Fathom and restart it. But it's so good to see you guys. Amber, it's been so long. Joy, it's great to see you. Happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving to you guys. I hope you had a fantastic holiday. And the way I do these coaching calls in the Facebook group is you just raise your hand, unmute, get started, and you start with giving us a win, and then we'll do some coaching. So, Amber, go ahead and why don't you just get us started? It's been forever.
Yeah, good to see you and congrats on your pregnancy. That's so exciting.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I know it's been what a year, 2025, man.
Okay, so win for me, I had a client renew recently and I didn't think she was gonna renew, but she just loved the support that she's been getting and I've been really consistent on Voxer with her, so I feel like that's been part of it. And what I wanted to talk to you about today was kind of changing my pillars because you're the one who I had created all my pillars with. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm cutting out or
Yeah,
you're.
no, sorry. My screen is taking forever. I even like I think it's me. I think I've got too many tabs, and I think that my computer is just like, it's too much. Delete all these tabs. And I'm like, oh, so sorry. So let me just close out of all these other tabs, and it should get going better. But I'm so excited.
Okay,
Okay,
Amy
so
said she's.
how is that?
Yeah,
My screen looks
yeah,
like
that's
we're
good.
finally back in process.
So yeah, I wanted to talk to you about my pillars because I originally created my pillars with you and I
Uh-huh.
had some changes with them and I've been trying to think about like what I want that to look like moving forward. So a little background, this year I went through this kind of like big transformation in what I'm teaching in my coaching program where
Okay.
I used to teach a more eat everything in moderation approach, but I started doing a lot of research on the flavorings and additives in our food and how they confuse our body's ability to source nutrition and crave the right
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went through like a big kind of like blow up in my business where I was like, I need to delete everything. And I was like, hold on, like let's like
Yeah.
assess here. And really it was just one of my main pillars that I need to change, which was my moderation pillar. And
Okay.
I switched that to real foods. But
Okay.
with that, I still have six pillars right now. And I feel like it's not, they work fine, but I just keep coming back to I want to shift it up a little bit. And maybe
Okay.
that's me just getting bored of it, but I've kind of
Yeah.
narrowed it down to, and I think six pillars can be a lot sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
be
And you
like
only have a 3 month program, right?
it's six.
It is six. Okay, so
Yeah,
then
it
that
is
works.
six, but I have been considering shortening it or making like a smaller package option.
Okay.
And I feel like simplifying my pillars might help with that too.
Okay.
So what I've kind of landed on is like kind of like a two-step process, but I feel like it's still sounding a little coach speak, which
Yeah.
is resetting your biology and rewiring your mind. And that kind of
Okay.
encompasses the two things like that I'm really focusing on. The two steps is really eating real foods and then shifting your mindset around eating real foods so you don't feel restricted, deprived, like you're dieting. And so I kind of just want to like narrow that down some more.
Okay. I love that. I'm with you. So, in just for everybody who doesn't know what intangible pillars are, when you're selling something that is, and actually you do have like weight loss or you have stopping binge eating as a piece of things, but when it's something you can't really touch, you want to create something that talks about why, like, what are the actual things that people are either learning or the benefits of working with you. So, when we think about like resetting biology and rewiring your mind, those feel like more process versus pillar words to me. You see what I'm saying? So pillar words would be something that like they are experiencing that is either it's more something that they're not striving they're either striving for or something that they're struggling with. They're not struggling to rewire their reset their biology. That's
Hmm.
what but what are they struggling with to reset their biology is what you want to make the pillar.
Hmm.
And same with rewiring their mind. They don't even know that they need to rewire their mind. What is the piece that they're struggling with or striving for that they need to rewire their mind for? So those are good, really, really good process words, but I wouldn't recommend making them pillar words because typically the other reason why we do SE, the intangible pillars is to develop that search engine optimization. So you want to say these words over and over again. And somebody who's struggling with binge eating might not be searching reset biology. They might be searching something else, you know? So that's what I would make your pillar words, if that makes sense to, you know, clarity for your marketing.
Yeah, and I still do the progress tracker with my pillars too, and it's like, okay, you can't rank how much you've rewired your brain. You know, it's like
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I still feel like my other pillars are good for it, but I guess I'm getting confused then on like when am I talking about my pillars versus when am I talking about my processes when I'm
Yeah,
selling and marketing?
really good question. And I'm going to put this in the chat. Write let's write down the six current pillars that you have and let's list those out and then I'll give you examples, okay?
Yeah.
So, what's your first pillar right now?
Positive food mindset,
Okay, great. Next one.
moderation,
Uh-huh.
urges,
Uh-huh.
hunger and fullness,
Okay.
confidence,
Okay.
and maintaining progress.
Okay.
And those
So,
kind of follow, like in general, the course and lessons that I've created,
yeah,
throughout this month. So it's kind of like if I'm changing those two, I'm like, okay, I gotta change some of the content that I'm teaching.
a little bit. And that's okay. I think that sometimes we do that, and I don't think it's a problem. I do think that moderating urge, or I would say like, what's another word for moderating urges? Like managing urges.
hmm Yeah, I think I have it as like managing urges when I have them rank it.
Rank it. So it's like managing urges, confidence, maintaining progress. Those three sound more pillar forward.
hmm
Positive food mindset, I feel like it almost is more of a process, which is interesting because there's the rewire mind, food mindset. Like, I don't know if I could rank my positive food mindset on a scale of 1 to 10 either. You know?
Yeah. And I usually define it for them. I define it
How do you
as
define it?
like how often they're thinking about food. So like when they come into me, they're like
Okay.
thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
food all day long. So if they're thinking about food less during the day, that's part of it. If they are recovering from a slip up faster and like not beating themselves up, not getting into all or nothing thinking, that's having a more positive food mindset. Um, and then like emotional eating is managing their emotions.
Okay. So I would say the better pillar would be emotional eating. I think it's different than urges.
hmm
I could rank my emotional eating on a scale of 1 to 10 in a heartbeat, you know? I would actually move the food obsession. And I actually wrote the word food obsession, but I don't like that as much. I think that sounds like scary. Like, but it's like positive food mindset is your process for the emotional. And I think it's like positive food mindset slash rewiring your mind is the process for the pillar of emotional eating. So
hmm
here's how this would look in your marketing. It's like, you want to create relevancy and urgency. So you want to have that like 2 p.m. problem situation. So it's like, um, do you ever go through, it was a bad day. You got some bad feedback from your boss, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the pantry, like wrist deep in a bag of Oreos. Or not a bag of Oreos, in a sleeve of Oreos. It's like you've just gone through a full sleeve of Oreos. This is a problem that's happening because you're lacking the ability to rewire your mind and create a positive food mindset. When you emotionally eat, and this would be like an example of a warm post. So this would be an example of like a how-to, but we're giving that relevancy and urgency still. So you would say, when you are having those emotional eating waves, what you want to do instead is you want to first notice, okay, I'm experiencing a negative emotion right now. And then before you go for the pantry, you want to sit and take 3 deep breaths and notice the whatever your process is. You want
Mhm.
to do this, you want to take the 3 deep breaths, and then you can allow yourself to eat the Oreo, but only after you've sat with the emotion and allowed yourself to feel the frustration all the way through. This is
Mhm.
something that I do with people every day. And usually for a cold and warm post, I will either direct them to a free resource podcast, etc., or I will read I if you are needing consults, I would redirect every post to a consult and be like, if this is something you're struggling with, if emotional eating is something that you're struggling with, signing up for my, oh my gosh, it's been so long. What's the name of your program again?
The Confident Eater program.
The Confident Eater program. I was like, the
No,
Confident
you're good.
Eater
It's been a
is the program for
while.
you. I work with clients for 6 months one-on-one, and we will go through every single one of those times that you feel like triggered or want to eat, and I will help you to ensure that you do not even have the urge to emotionally eat anymore. This is something that I do with all my clients. I love to talk about what that would look like for you, especially over the holidays, because I know Q4 mixed with family drama is a perfect storm for a binge eating nightmare. Let me help you prevent those waves. Sign up for your complimentary consult using link in my bio. But did
Mhm.
you see how I'm using it as the process? I'm not leading with positive food mindset. I'm leading with emotional eating.
Yeah.
That's what you want to start with. So same with moderation. I think that if in general, I think you could just take this pillar out. If you're like, well, and if you talk about real foods,
Yeah,
I
I guess
think,
I that one's shifted now. I called it real foods. Like, so I was
yeah.
trying to how they could, and that's what I'm calling them, like real foods versus fake foods. And so I kind of want to have them rank like
Mhm.
how often am I having real foods? And that was something I thought they could tangibly look at.
Okay, I'm totally switching this up on you. Let me know if this lands. But if you had emotional eating as the first pillar, second pillar, managing urges, and I would say that your process for managing urges is hunger and fullness. Because if the emotional
Not
eating one,
Yeah, I feel like hunger and fullness is its own thing. Like managing urges, I teach a lot of the
okay.
nervous system regulation. And then hunger and fullness is, I mean, it's still like tuning into your body, but in a little bit of a different way where I really go through like what is hunger, what is fullness, how do you know you're feeling these cues, and what if you're going past them? Which I guess then if you're like overeating, then it is going into the skill of sitting with urges.
Well, okay, so then what is the difference between emotional eating and managing urges?
They're kind of the same thing. Because
Then
it's both
that's
like
where,
sitting, yeah, it's both sitting with the desire for it, same with sitting with emotions. And
yeah,
even talk
yeah.
about that in one of my modules. I'm like, I have a module for urges and I have a module for allowing emotions. And I'm like, allowing emotions is kind of the same thing as allowing urges. We're just gonna go a little deeper on expanding this out to all emotions. So I guess
Yeah, go ahead.
they can kind of be the same, but um, it's kind of like urges are specifically for the food cravings, whereas the emotions are more like processing emotions in general.
And right now you have the under positive food mindset.
Hmm. Yeah. But I see where you're going because I'm like,
See, I'm like, I kind of almost want to, in your pillar, in your, like, in your course, in the, like, modules and things like that, you don't need to change anything. But I think for marketing, I would think about if you could separate emotional eating to the time when they need to process emotions and need to regulate their nervous system, just for marketing's sake, to make it simple for you, and then managing urges and hunger and fullness, even though I know in the program itself, they're two separate things just
mhm,
from a marketing standpoint, I think I would do managing urges and desire and hunger and fullness as one marketing concept. And then I would do emotional eating, processing emotions, and nervous system regulation in one segment just to
mhm,
make it cleaner for your audience. So because I know what you mean. It's like but I think it's almost too similar. And I think it's not hitting like I think that's why we had so many pillars. I think that this could make your pillars simpler and then
mhm,
you would have emotional eating, talking all about processing emotion, nervous system regulation. Then urges is just from a hunger and fullness desire side of
mhm.
you. And then I think maintaining progress is where we talk about real foods.
Hmm.
because then you're also discussing about how their hormones are affected by the foods that they're eating because they're eating foods that are derailing their progress. And then you
Hmm.
put that almost with the moderation one, and then confidence is its own separate thing. But
Yeah.
I think that would clean it up for you personally, but I want to see what you think.
Yeah. So if I had that kind of like combined and simplified as my pillars, then so like when I'm talking, I'm still kind of getting confused about like the process versus the pillars, I guess.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I heard when you talked about the marketing of, okay, here's, the specific thing within this pillar that we're going to work on, what you're going to learn.
Mhm.
But then like let's say I'm on a podcast or something and I'm like, here's my like here's exactly how I help people stop binge eating. Do you think I should just say here's my four pillars that I go through, or like here's
You're on a guest on someone else's podcast or on your
yeah.
own?
Yeah, like
Okay,
if I'm
so
a guest on someone else's podcast, I'm explaining kind of like simply in a couple sentences, what my process is or how I help people stop binge eating.
yeah, so that's a great question. So for your I help statement, I would go more pillar versus process. So
Okay.
I would be like, I help people stop binge eating by moderating their emotional eating, managing urges, creating confidence, and maintaining progress. Those are the
Mhm.
four things that I do within my program, The Confident Eater. If you want to start working with me, 6 months, blah, blah, blah. But
Mhm.
that's what I would do your I help statement as a process forward or a pillar
Mhm.
forward. But then let's say you're doing a podcast that it's like you introduce yourself like that, but then as you talk about a maybe let's say you go on to a personal trainer's podcast and you're talking with them about, I would say go if you're talking with a personal trainer, I would talk about like managing urges because I feel like it's a managing urges or maintaining progress. I feel like are your two like very tangible, less emotional processing things that I think would align closer with somebody that's like talking about weightlifting. It's like, okay, so let's talk about the science behind maintaining progress. It's more than just eating a certain amount of calories. It's also about what you eat. It's not just about how you eat. And the process I have for maintaining progress is the real food protocol. So you want to make sure that you're eating foods that align with hormonal balances that match your body's systems. For instance, we know that if you eat gluten, then what can happen is it's not about celiac or an intolerance. It can also be about it creates a blood sugar spike that can create cravings in the future. So that's what I teach I'm talking about maintaining progress. It's also really important that people understand the process of creating a real food, not diet, because that word can be like misconstrued, but like, it's like a
I
real
liked
food,
protocol that
real
you
food
said.
protocol. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
think
that's
I
what
think that sounds like a plan, but like not in a
Mhm.
diety way.
It's not a diet. It's like just, oh, this is your protocol. Everyone has an individualized protocol. But I just think the word diet can get like, especially for binge eaters, it can be a trigger word.
Mhm.
So, but I think that this is really, really great for you to like have those pillars, have the process. I think that, but does that make sense as to leading with the pillar, adding in the process, but not leading with rewiring your mind, not leading with resetting your biology, not leading with the real foods protocol, lead with what their problem is, and
Mhm.
then it creates more of a desire to hear about your process too,
Yeah,
in context too.
yeah. Do you think that rewiring your brain and resetting your biology, does that sound too coach speak to you? Like it sounded like fun and cool in my mind, but I feel like those are often the things that I'm like, okay, wait, now that when I say it out loud and like when it
Like,
lands with people,
wait.
it's like, maybe it's overcomplicating things a little bit.
Okay, so here's what I would do is I think that there are some words that you can give without context that are mainstream enough. For instance, nervous system regulation protocol. It's like I help you stop emotional eating through my nervous system regulation reset. It's like
Mhm.
that's what I would make your process. I think that that is more mainstream. If you say the word nervous system, people are like, ooh, it builds a little intrigue. It has that element of like, oh, this is something that seems like a need for me that I want to emphasize, but it also doesn't have it doesn't have the rewire mind. It sounds a little bit, it's too esoteric, like it's too vague. It's like
Mhm.
rewiring your mind. How does it help me? Like, how does it
Yeah.
help me when I'm stress eating
Hmm.
or night eating or emotionally eating? And but if you say emotions, nervous system, I think that gives you enough context. I would make your process, and I
Hmm.
don't know if you see it's like I have this in here, and I'll share this with everybody after our call today. And actually, no, I will not because I know I totally forgot to send one of the replays, and now Bridge is going to be doing this. So I would say emotionally eating, your process is a nervous system regulation
Hmm.
reset, something like that. Your process is the Real Foods protocol for maintaining progress. Your process for confidence is something we haven't talked about. What is that one? That process?
Um, I mean, I kind of just help them change their thoughts, which is what we do in all of them. But
Okay.
I guess
What is something that confidence like? What I like to do is I like to use synonyms for the process words just to give them another way, like emotions, nervous system, maintaining progress, real foods. It's like almost like it's just hitting them from another sales angle to show, hey, I'm going to give you value in a ton of ways. Not only am I going to help you maintain progress, but I'm going to help you with the Real Foods protocol. I'm not only going to help you stop emotional eating, but I'm going to do that through learning how to regulate your nervous system. Um,
Mhm.
like,
I help them heal their body image so they don't feel
okay,
so
I like
insecure
that.
anymore, that they're confident at any weight, shape, or size. And we do that by changing their thoughts around their body.
But if you say versus rewire your mind for your confidence protocol, if you have the body image something,
I think you called it once the body image breakthrough.
love.
I feel
Wow,
like
thanks, past
you
me.
said that to quote you from the past.
I'm like, love it. That's great. So, like the body image breakthrough. Beautiful. That is a process that tells me I'm going to develop more confidence when I pay Amber money. I will get something that's tangible. It's intangibly tangible, but I know that that is what I'm getting. Same with your process for, and I would like, what was your desire one? Do you remember what that one was? I would say almost over hunger and fullness. And what I would do is I would use words like reset biology, rewire your mind, hunger and fullness. I would use these words to describe your process. And so it's like if somebody's like, I don't understand what you had a process that was with desire. It was like I think.
Well, I had like the urge solution was kind of like the full name of the pillar.
Mhm.
But I do say a lot like within that, we're going to decrease your desire for the foods you don't want to eat.
The decrease desire method or something like that. But like the decreased desire method, do you see how it's like, and this is so fun. I know it sound the decreased, thank you, spell check, the decreased desire method. Do you see how it's just having the word the and method or the and reset? Like just having those things creates, it feels like they're buying something that is concrete, something that is unique, something they haven't used before. Because, like, I'm going to teach you nervous system regulation. A lot of people are teaching nervous system regulation, but I, in the Confident Eater program, have the nervous system regulation reset that teaches you how to stop emotional eating, so you stop binge eating for good.
Mhm.
But I would use if you're like, I'm going to teach you how to manage your urges through the decreased desire method, where you will understand hunger and fullness at a biological level. So you don't have those cravings anymore. You stop binge eating on the things that you love because you learn how to decrease that desire.
Mhm.
You see, I'm using these words to describe the process and pillar at length, but I'm not leading with them.
Yes, that makes sense. Like, I still use those words, but I'm not saying like this is what I do. It's like using it to
Mhm.
describe it more in depth.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
good though. I would move that like even moderation, we can move that word down to like the describing words. And I want to say process describing words. But so that's why I wouldn't lead with rewire bio, reset your mind, reset bio, or rewire mind, reset biology. I wouldn't lead with that. I would just include it. I would just like be like, I'm going to help you use moderation. I'm going to help you utilize this to, I'm going to help, same with positive food mindset, same deal. It's like I would go in and use this, and I don't like the word food, like even processing emotions. These are all like process describing words, and I don't like the word food obsession. I was just trying to think about like as you were describing it, but the second you said nervous system regulation, I was like, I've got it.
Mhm.
But these are like the pillars and then the process, pillars to process, and then these describe it. I think this is really good. I think this
Yeah.
is really helpful for everyone to see too, because like, and this is where oh my gosh, if you look back at my original post, it would be like, it was so I was using these process describing words the whole time. And I was like, why aren't people buying from me? Why aren't people signing up for a consult? And they were like, because they didn't know, like, even if when I was talking about how maintaining healthy relationships, I would talk about the manual and stuff like that, like tools that I learned that were really helpful. I would even describe boundaries, but it was not done with enough context. Boundaries are more of a mainstream term, but like I wasn't doing things in a way that was landing for people. And I think
Mhm.
these words will land faster. If you say, I'm going to help you stop emotional eating, manage your urges, create confidence, and maintain progress. That sounds like a binge eating program I want to join, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Megan. That was exactly what I needed of like the little word differences. So thank you for that.
Of course. So good. It was so good to see you too. I missed you. All right, Dr. DeMay, come on in. Give us a win. And then we've got Joy here. Hello.
Um, this is not what I want coaching on, but I'm sure you and I will circle around perhaps
I
to it
love
at some
it.
point.
Fabulous.
But the win is the person who scheduled the consultation canceled the consultation because she wanted to go to Disneyland. So I
Okay.
told her, I said, okay, well, how about, I said that works. How about these days? And she rescheduled on a different day. She didn't pick the days that I offered, but she did reschedule. So the win is
Good.
that the person rescheduled the consultation.
Well, that means that she's very interested in your business coaching, which is a great sign besides Disney World. And I love this. So I am proud of you for like, and a lot of times when people can reschedule, it can, especially when you don't have a ton of consults coming in, and can be like, I'm so glad that she
But
did.
I used to always use the metaphor of super dating before I got married. I love super dating and I was
I love
total
that.
super dater. So I'm like, next, next, next.
Play the okay, so literally that's what I did. I was like, when I was dumped, I was like, okay, it's been 15 years since I was in the dating pool. 2 dates a day. We're gonna do breakfast and we're gonna do lunch, and it's gonna be
Facts.
great. Play the numbers. I am so with you. I love this. Well, this is fantastic. I am proud of you. And also that energetic kind of like, I mean, not to be like too woo about it, but it's like I feel like you showing up as like, hey, I'm in demand. If it's not you, it'll be somebody else. Also helps people to feel like you're not desperate for it, you know? So good.
That's true.
What would you like some coaching on though today?
Perhaps what's
Great.
similar to, I think, was it Amber? I don't
Amber,
know who
yeah, yeah.
was that was
Mhm.
just on the call. It's funny that I want something coaching on similar, and I like your phrase to discover words that land faster.
Ah,
So this came about because a few weeks ago, you probably remember us brainstorming around that design conference, the Texas Design Conference that
yeah.
I went to.
Mhm.
I didn't get a chance to coach on this, but it has not left my processes. So let's go. So I would tell people that I'm a business coach and I would get crickets. Like I would tell people what I would do and it would be crickets.
Mm.
And I was a little surprised because the last time I went to the design conference, I told them that I did PR and people go wild. Like they went wild over PR. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I should discover words that land faster. But I have also this notion that a lot of people don't exactly know what PR is. They think is like press releases. So, but what I do is PR. So I would love a little brainstorming with you on like words that land faster. I like your coaching on using the word the and how you coach her on using the word the to talk about your process. I always talk about my process in terms of it's a protocol that I discovered right from my dissertation, which is true. It is a dissertation in the world of PR. So it is something that I wrote about and I discovered in doing that work. So yeah, so that's what my thinking is at this point.
Yeah. So I think that there are lots, like, if this is the difference between intangible and tangible pillars, and the work that we do as coaches can be a little bit more challenging. And I was actually talking with Joy about this because when you say you're a travel agent, people know what that is. If you say you're a personal trainer, people know what that is. If you say you do PR, branding, website design, people have an idea of what that is because there is a tangible feature that's implied with your with the name. You know what I mean? It's like you get a trip if you hire a travel agent, you get a trip. It's very like A to B. So
My
that,
student, one of my people who I taught before, has a thriving coaching business and he teaches people how to write dissertations.
but why?
I helped you write your
Why is that?
dissertation, but because it's tangible, it is a
It's
dissertation.
tangible.
You
So
can pick
that's
it up.
so here's what we do for you is you are a business coach that creates a and like you if you want to call it like an in-demand offer, something like that, but you have offer network planning. That's
Yes.
what you offer. So that's where we take your pillars and we create something that's tangible from that. Now, the thing that could be tricky is if you are like, and I was telling somebody this, I forget who, but we were talking about they were in an environment where they kind of had to Jill. We were talking about for her, she's a generalist, but she was with a bunch of business coaches or a bunch of business owners. So instead of talking about, I'm going to help you create confidence in your next career transition, we helped her create confidence with your business. It's like that was the shift. So what was this event again? Remind me.
It's a Texas Design Week. So a statewide
Who was there?
conference for anybody in the interior design space, contractors, interior designers, construction people, flooring folks. I mean, people in flooring and windows. So anybody who does builds how related to building, mostly residential. There's some commercial people there too, but it's a lot of residential stuff.
Okay, so here's the thing. For you, with Texas Design Week, we know you're going to be working with interior designers. So just like I was telling, this was a very brief thing I talked to Amber about, but I was like, if you work with if you're on a personal trainer's podcast, you want to focus on the things that the personal trainers and the clients of personal trainers want. They want to maintain progress and maybe manage urges. They won't be talking about emotional eating maybe as much with their personal trainer always. They might be a problem they experience, but it's not really something that they are talking about. So sometimes we need to change the way you say the pillars based on the audience you're around. So maybe interior designers don't, first and foremost, if you said that you're a business coach, I would add on to that. It's like, and I would say I'm a business coach that helps solopreneurs, like interior designers, scale to their first 5 to 6 figures. But do you see how I'm giving that tangible piece of things? It's like I help interior designers hit 6 figures with their design business. More tangible. I help interior designers create and what do we you know interior designers more than I do because you've been going to these events more. I do they use the word offer?
They use the word contract. So so they're
Okay.
looking to sign new contracts, six-figure
Okay.
contracts and things like
Love
that.
it. So
Hmm.
I would say for this one, this is where we go through and we say, it's like, I help you close more contracts. I help you to create a really strong network and, or like, what would they use instead of network? Like in your marketing, you talk about network in a way.
Elite. They like
Okay,
they like elite networking, so they get that.
why? What is a like, and coming back to what I was telling Amber, what are they striving for or struggling with that they need a bigger network for?
Because a lot of sometimes artists tend to have a notion that people think that they tend to be introverts. So they don't come from campaigns like I do, where I'll talk to anybody with a pulse. So they tend to like be more like focused on like creating the art, like the art itself, rather than talking to the humans to help you get paid to create that art. So I think that they just want to maybe network more efficiently. Like they want to create more business with like less networking.
Okay, okay. So maybe efficient networking would be like it's like build a network of buyers like
Yeah, but they want to build a network of buyers.
without
Um,
efficiently. I'm trying to think about like when we talk about elite networking, I'm trying to think about what we could create that would be like exciting for them.
Um, they don't like objections. I mean, I love objections because I like coaching objections, but
Right, right.
they don't like objections. They want buyers who are ready to just kind of spend the money and let them go. So I'm building a
Fast
network
buyers,
yeah, yeah.
fast, like simple words are usually of quick
Fast
buyers.
buyers.
Quick buyers, I think it sounds better, me. Or it's
Yeah,
like
quick buyers.
people ready to buy.
hmm
I build a ready to buy network, like, or it's like no, like a network of people ready to buy. So like that.
Yeah.
Um,
They're ready to buy, they're ready to invest too. So
ready
like
to invest. I like that
yeah,
better.
yeah, because these are people investing in their houses. So they're ready to invest. And they're ready to invest in like what it would take to, because a lot of interior designers I hear like when you go to the interior designer, you tell them what you want, the interior designer tells you this is much money, and the people are like, I don't want to I don't want to spend that kind of money. So, and they don't like that because they're like, okay, well, it's going to take this amount of money to get the design you want. So, kind of buyers who are ready to invest into the design that
That they
you know what I'm
want.
saying?
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
I do. I do. So I would say that like, so your words that would land faster is I would be like, is six figures a reasonable amount? If you work with them for 6 months, maybe it's like, don't
No,
maybe you don't need six
they
figures.
want six-figure contracts because the designer I work with, she landed three six-figure contracts in 6 weeks. So
Beautiful.
they
Okay.
want multiple six-figure contracts.
Why are you not talking about that more in your marketing?
Because
Let's
I
do
don't,
that.
because that's for designers. Like, since I unniche, like coaches usually don't talk about multiple six-figure contracts from one buyer
But I
at
would
one
say that like
time.
I would say it's like if you want to close, and I would say that like if you want to close more contracts, you need a compelling offer that will sell at top dollar. When I was
Yeah.
working with one of my interior designer contracts, or one of my interior designers, she was able to position herself because and oh God, what's the name of her offer? Luxury,
Leading lavishly
leading
or
lavishly. Okay. So it's like because in leading lavishly, I talk about, and what's your M1? It's not messaging, it's Janae. I'm so sorry.
positioning. That's okay. You got bigger
Strategic
brain.
positioning. So it's like strategic positioning. It's like I was able to help her strategically position for a top dollar market. So she was able to land three contracts within the 6 weeks that we were working together. She was able to land three six-figure projects. This
Mhm.
is why strategic positioning is the first thing I work on when people sign up for my business coaching program, Leading Lavishly. I would love to work with you for 6 months and show you how to scale to six and multiple six figures within your business. Sign up for a consultation using the link in my bio. But like, do you see how that is more like very it's very clear, but it's also not saying that I'm going to get you for sure multiple six-figure project. I'm just giving you an example of a person that would get those. It's like I'm telling you why my process worked for them, and it's because of the strategic positioning of their offer to help them close more contracts. So that's
Yes.
what I would do for you, and
Okay.
just use those words online and in person.
Close more contracts. Okay.
Close more contracts, build a network of people ready to invest, and then um planning, I would say like strategic goal achievement could be like, and one of the things that I have said that I think people enjoy is saying making your goals statistically inevitable. And if you teach them that tenacious, like I forget the way you said it with the dating, but like if you're like, okay, I want to teach you how to date like this, I think that that would be a like strategic goal achievement is like make your goals statistically inevitable. I like it. But do you see how it's like I'm the business coach that gets you to six and multiple six figures. That immediately takes your positioning to like, oh, I now when you talked about how PR was turning heads, that's gonna turn heads. And it's accurate to what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I love it. How are you feeling?
Excited. So,
I'm excited for you too. I feel like this is going to be really, really good. And if you have like, try and use those words. I know we went to the Texas Design Week, but I think that we just need a little bit more context to go from, hey, a business coach. It's like I'm a business coach for designers who want to hit six and multiple six figures.
who want to? Okay, I like that. I'm not sure how to unniche it, but I think it's just you just say close more contracts. I mean, coaches, like consultants, they all want to close more contracts. So,
But in the this is what I was saying with when I was talking with Jill, it's like she can help anybody close more contracts. But when she
mhm.
was specifically, and she was like in an environment with creative entrepreneurs, she didn't say, I help all entrepreneurs do all things. She specifically said, I help creative entrepreneurs to create more visibility online or something like that. But it's like when you're in the text in person, you say, I am the business coach for interior designers who want to help close six and multiple six figures in contracts.
Okay. Okay.
But online, that's where you say, I'm a business coach who helps close multiple contracts.
That's so good.
You know?
Okay. All right. So context is important. So this is
Yes.
good. Yeah.
I love
Well,
it.
thank you.
Of course. Joy, you are up next, my dear. Hello, hello.
Oh.
Give us a win and let's get going. I know I can help you in 12 minutes. We got this.
I sent my first DMs after our conversation. I created
Amazing.
a script. They were most for brands because there is an issue I'm running into it.
Yeah,
It's most a lot of the new accounts that started me following me. They are
businesses.
no, they are closed accounts or business. Like the ones that look like they may be my ideal client, they are like the closed accounts that we can't see anything or message.
You can still message them. Do you want me to show you how? If you're interested,
Oh,
you don't have to. But I like, okay, so here I'll show you guys this. So and I like to do it on my computer because my phone is so addictive. If I hop on my phone, I will go down the doom scrolling to no end. So within this, what I do is if I see somebody, if you hover over their name, their username, you will be able to see if they have pictures that are public. That means that they are a public account and you can message them freely. But this account, Holly, is private.
yes.
I don't have to follow her back. If I click here on these three dots on the right-hand side, you can still send a message.
Oh,
So you can still get, and it just said something went wrong, but
yeah.
there you go. You just have to sometimes press it twice. But now I can message Holly without her, just because she's a follower of mine, and I don't have to follow her back. Very
Okay.
jazzy.
Yeah, and I'm getting a lot of business show that like are other travel advisors,
Hmm.
and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to working on my email, having people subscribing to my email. So I have been talking over and over about it, and I still not getting people subscribed.
Okay, so here's the thing. Your goal is to sign between 4 and 5, or that's not correct. 4 clients. Get four
Yes.
consults, 2 clients a month.
I
Remind me of what your goal is. Oh, sorry, balloons for that. Like, but what's your
I
goal for December?
I think it was 4 clients,
Four
like
clients,
basically one a week.
one a week. So we talked about 2 consults a week. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are ways that you can go about doing that. And one of the ways will be, of course, apparently I need to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. Speaking of phones, but I would say in here, we there we go. Do not disturb. Sorry, that was very loud and obnoxious.
I could
Within
hear.
my but if you've got that goal to sign 4 clients, I would message the people like Holly was for me, and I would
Mhm.
go and start a relationship with them, asking them, "Hey, I love helping people create their travel plans. A lot of times the people who are coming to me specifically have children who are diagnosed with autism. Do you have any children that are, it's like, are you traveling with children who are diagnosed with autism, or are you just planning a trip outside of that?" But that's what I would start as your like closed-ended question. Is it for the people who are current, like just people who feel like they could be a lead?
Mhm.
Um, I just call this like for new followers that like could buy. I'm putting this in like parentheses at the bottom. I would say, um, hey, thank you so much for following me. I know a lot of people who are trying or who follow me are trying to plan a trip with children many of times. Child, oh, this is sounding awkward. Hold on. I'm like, I'm using talk to type, but I'm like, let me make this better. I'm like, I can do this better. So I would say, um, hey, thank you so much for following me. I love helping people plan trips, especially um, families who have children that have been diagnosed with autism. Are you planning? And you can either ask, are you planning any upcoming trips? Or you could ask, do you have it's kind of tricky with like the autism diagnosis, like because people can be kind of touchy about that, obviously. Um, so I would say, are you thinking of going on some trips in 2026? Like, do you see how that like starts a good conversation with people? Where the people like Holly, the people who are private, those most likely will be the new followers that could buy. But the people who are business owners or brands, we don't, and also notice how I'm trying to get to know these
Mhm.
people. I'm not saying join my email list. You see that? Because
Yes.
they
And
don't, yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, you go ahead.
It's similar, like I posted on the comments. I went to a cloud that I have like kind of my voice already and know my business. And I asked to come with some like questions. And like they came with like 4 and ended up picking the first one that say, "Hey, welcome. Quick question. You dreaming about a trip or planning one? Just curious what about brought you here?"
What's happening here? Oh my goodness. My sweet little phone has never been so active today. Look at this. We're just gonna quit all the things that people could contact me on. It's okay.
But I like what you wrote
But so
there.
just because I think it's like I think that Claude Chat, all of the above, incredible resources, but a lot of times they give salesy stuff. They'll be like, "Are you creating the trip of your
Yeah.
person in real life?" You know? The other thing is people don't want to join an email list. They want the value from an email list. So they don't ever, no one ever wants to subscribe for anything. Who wants more emails in their inbox? However, if you say, hey, every single week I give freebies, every single week I talk about easier ways to plan, that's the thing that you want to talk about. So in your posts, you don't want to talk about, hey, subscribe to my email list for more. You want to talk about what they get on your email list that they would actually want to subscribe for. So on your post, this is called a call to action. Instead of saying subscribe for more, you want to say subscribe. If like, give me an example. What was
This
the post that
week
you
I
talked
actually
about
did
this
the
week?
post about spring break, like why you should be planning spring break now. And I put, and that's gonna be the theme of my mail that's going out tomorrow.
Okay, I would say DM me your email and I'll send you 3 tips to make your spring break planning easier, along with other helpful hints to travel with your child that's been diagnosed with autism. Your child, um, that's I always like to do person first language. Like instead of being like your autistic child, I like to say your child. It's longer, but I think it's like that's my preference personally. Um, okay, so we've got that. This is for posts. Is that and that's what we want to do here. With the DMs, you want to talk with them and you want to build that relationship up with them so they feel comfortable to talk to them. Are you thinking of going on some trips in 2026? It's like, yeah, we're thinking of doing something for spring break. We're also probably gonna plan some summer trips. You say, amazing. I was literally just talking about spring break planning already right now in my post for this past week. Are you, I think it's a great idea to get started planning those trips right now. Did you have a location in mind? Or are you thinking of doing, like, I know we talked about like the European vacation, or are you thinking of doing something like a cruiser on the Caribbean? And they'll tell you more information. You start to get to know them, and then you can either pitch a consult or you can keep sending them helpful information in the DMs to get them to build that trust. Now, business owners and brands will never join your email list. They will never ever actually like sign up for your email list. These are the people that you want to send a business to business reach out. So this is like similar people. Here's what, hey, I think we both work with similar people. I help families plan trips with their children who have been diagnosed with autism. And I think we would be great referral partners and potentially even collaborate in the future. If you know of anyone who could use my travel agent services, here's the link for them to book a complimentary consult to see if working with me would be a good fit. And if you want to send me your links, I can send them to my people as well. But do you see how we're just going straight for the not necessarily a hard touch, but we're going straight for the referral. We're like, we aren't even worried about these people joining our email list
Yeah.
because they never will. That's what I would do here.
Got it. I'll try it again.
Give it a go. But I think that these are the two that I would focus on, and or like what I mentioned, the friends and family, because you have a lot of word of mouth. But for now, start with those two because they're the ones that you feel most comfortable with. So I would say those are the things that I would direct your messages to and see if people start messaging. I bet you they would. Like if they're following you, it's for a reason. And you specifically say, I'm the travel agent for families planning trips with children who are diagnosed with autism. Like that's literally your thing. So I
Yeah.
have a feeling they're probably planning some trips with their people, you know?
All right. Thank you, Megan.
Of course. This was so, so good. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Bridge is going to be posting this later today. So I'll have her tag you guys in the post. But I think this was so, so helpful and good for everyone to hear. And I will hopefully be seeing you guys next week. Bye, everybody. And
Yeah.
these calls are going on till December 16th. I'm taking the last 2 weeks of the year off. I might restart them in January. I haven't decided, but I'll keep you posted if they continue to. Every Tuesday from 11 to 12 Eastern.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye, Joy.